The latest Glitch Productions Direct was packed with huge news about all their series and even some new surprises. It blew our expectations out of the water, leaving us with a mix of excitement and some good-natured disappointment. To kick things off, they showed us the same sneak peek from Comic-Con, but this time in much higher quality, letting us get a better look at the scene from the new and likely chaotic beach adventure. We already did a deep dive into this sneak peek in our last video, but to summarize, it sets up what at first seems like a peaceful adventure. However, as Kane has gotten us used to, things are bound to get complicated, turning into a traumatic and thought-provoking ordeal that will test the sanity of the entire circus, especially the Purple Rabbit, who doesn't seem to be having his best day. We're eager to find out what's in store for Pomni and the gang in this new episode, but we'll have to wait longer than we thought. Unfortunately, our theory that the episode would be released this month, specifically our most likely date of Friday, October 31st, was quickly debunked by Glitch. They finally gave us the official date, and we'll have to wait until Friday, December 12th, to see what awaits them on their day at the beach. And I know what you're thinking. We have to wait 2 more months for the highly anticipated episode 7? Sadly, yes. But to make up for it, Glitch also revealed the release date for episode 8, and it's coming sooner than expected. The wait will only be 3 months after episode 7's release, with episode 8 premiering on March 20th, 2026. This is fantastic news, as it will be the shortest we've had between episodes yet. And the good news keeps coming. To everyone's surprise, Glitch then showed a brief teaser for episode 8. It's peculiar. It consists of multiple images from the episode shown in such a rapid succession that it's difficult to make anything out, even when going frame by frame. On top of that, most of the scenes are layered on top of each other. However, from the little we could distinguish, it seems most of these scenes take place inside the circus tent. What's most interesting is that you can spot multiple NPCs, something we haven't seen before, not counting all the gloinks that Kane unleashed in the pilot. In one of these blurry scenes, we can theorize that these NPCs appear to be some kind of creatures with fangs. One of them has colors very similar to the gummy creatures from episode 2, but looks like a cross between a horse and a bat. All of these scenes are wide open to interpretation, so if you see something different, let us know in the comments so we can try to make more sense of this teaser. I did, however, discover something very interesting. There's one scene that's a bit clearer than the rest, featuring Zubo next to a mannequin wearing a cap. Sound familiar? That's right, this scene appears to be the same one from episode 6, where Kane creates Ming as a prank. This makes one thing clear. There's a chance Glitch mixed in some scenes from previous episodes, perhaps along with real scenes from episode 8, to confuse us and obviously to fill out the teaser. So if you manage to find any more scenes that could fit with past episodes, comment below. I'll be reading them. Now there is one much clearer image, at least visually, that stays on screen a bit longer than the rest. It's a picture of an apartment living room, focusing specifically on a dining area next to a pair of windows with a laptop on the table. This could just be a random stock image of a room, but perhaps what the image represents is more important than the image itself. If we think back to recent episodes, the closest connection we can find is in episode 6, when Kane is relaxing in his beach chair. After waiting for everyone to leave, he pulls out some photos of what appear to be real-world offices. While these images aren't the same, one being a corporate office and the other an apartment where someone might work from their dining table, they could be leading us down the same path. More clues about what's really happening in the real world and what the digital circus is truly hiding. Remember, the last time we saw this type of scene directly was at the very end of the pilot episode, where it was first revealed that the entire circus and all its inhabitants exist on a computer. We haven't been given any more information since then. It's possible that episode 8, which let's not forget, will be the second to last episode of the first and only season of the Amazing Digital Circus, will finally give us more hints about what this strange world really is. The final scene is also quite odd, featuring a meme-like clip of a person shooting out of a water slide. This could be a hint that performing this action might lead to an important place. Perhaps the long-awaited exit from the circus, or maybe a location that holds the answers we've all been searching for. But where have we seen a slide in the circus? The first one that comes to mind is the one located at the digital lake, which we'll see in episode 7 when it's transformed into a digital beach. Although we don't see this slide directly in the trailer, we know it's there thanks to the tour Kane gave Pomni in the pilot. However, this slide doesn't seem to match the one referenced in the strange teaser scene. scene, as the teaser shows an enclosed tube slide, while the one at the digital lake is an open slide. However, there is another slide that fits the description. It's located right next to the lake in the digital carnival. There, between the roller coaster and the Ferris wheel, we can see a slide that looks very similar to the one in the teaser. But there's something strange about this structure. There doesn't seem to be a way to get to the top to actually use it, which is pretty essential for this kind of ride. Could this just be an animation error? Maybe, but we could also consider that it was intentional. If we imagine Pomni or another member of the circus entering the slide with the same speed as the person in the teaser, it's possible that the momentum, combined with the fact that it's an incomplete structure, could launch whoever is inside toward the horizon. This might just be the way to cross the void and finally escape the circus, or at least discover what lies beyond it. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait for the story to unfold to find out, because that's all Glitch showed us for episode 8. After that, Gooseworks contributed a lot with just 2 words.
What do you think about that, Goose?
Hello.
Thank you very much, Goose.
The news about the Amazing Digital Circus concluded with the announcement that episodes 5 through 7 will be available on Netflix following the release of episode 7 on December 12th. This makes it clear that Glitch Productions has reached an agreement with Netflix regarding the censorship issues that had affected these recent episodes. Great news for everyone who wants to enjoy the complete series on the platform. Next, Glitch gave us more information about their other series. In short, they announced a musical collaboration between Murder Drones and the Living Tombstone, a band well known for creating songs for various popular games and series, with their most famous tracks being those for the Five Nights at Freddy's games. They even made a musical appearance in the final scenes of the movie. They also announced that the Kickstarter for the Murder Drones graphic novel is still active, so if you want to see it become a reality, don't forget to support the Glitch Kickstarter, as they're promising some very interesting rewards for backers. After that, it was announced that production on the rest of the Gaslight District episodes is continuing, though they're taking their time with it. They stated that the series, full of madness and visual creativity, is quite complex to produce, so they want each episode to have the time it needs to be as satisfying as possible. As its creator, Nick Sopko, said,
"Remember, patience is a virtue."
He did, however, give us a few small glimpses of the upcoming episodes, which we can analyze more deeply in a future video if you'd like. Moving on to Glitch's 2D department. They announced that the pilot episode of Knights of Guinevere is a huge success. Along with its co-creator Dana Terrace, they reminded us that if we want the series to get the green light for a full season, we should show our support by buying the official merch available on the Glitch website, and by continuing to show love for everything related to this wonderful series. And the final surprise Glitch promised for this direct turned out to be none other than a collaboration with the team behind Lackadaisy to produce the series based on the webcomic of the same name. Jax's voice actor, Michael Kovach, confirmed he will be participating in the project. The series is a story set in the 1920s, during the Prohibition era in the United States, with the distinctive feature of having a cast of anthropomorphic cat characters. This webcomic already had a solid fanbase, and after launching their second fundraising campaign, they received the massive support and began production on the series. Fortunately for them, they caught the attention of Glitch, who offered their support as co-producers. This will allow the series to expand and add more content in every department, an offer they couldn't refuse. With this collaboration, Glitch has officially founded its Glitch Presents division. Under this banner, they won't be the direct creators, but will instead offer their support to multiple independent animation projects, making their passion and support for this type of content clear. However, being aware that this is still a costly industry that needs to be profitable, this Glitch Presents division will prioritize releases on streaming platforms, with exclusivity deals, rather than free releases on YouTube, which is, of course, completely understandable. But you don't need to worry about the Amazing Digital Circus and the rest of Glitch's own series. For those, they're creating the Glitch Originals division. This is where the main series, fully produced by Glitch, will live, continuing with their free releases on YouTube and with agreements for simultaneous launches on other platforms, as is the case with Netflix. Their funding will continue to come from merchandising and fan support. And that concludes this direct, leaving us with an event full of news and updates that has the entire community excited for what's next from this great studio, which continues to grow day by day, as does its passion for the independent animation industry. We will continue to support Glitch Productions so they can keep bringing us new, fresh, and above all creative content from both Gooseworks and the rest of the creative minds behind this great studio.